Wolves football history, earning All-American honors twice and becoming a finalist for the 2012 Gene Upshaw Award. Huge award. He led CSU Pueblo to back-to-back RMAC football championships and NCAA Division II playoff appearances in 2011 and 2012. Before being drafted in the 6th round of the 2013 NFL Draft, he played 8 seasons in his NFL career, serving as the starting center for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers team that won Super Bowl 54. Ladies and gentlemen, our 4th inductee of the evening for the RMAC Hall of Fame, class of 2025, is CSU Pueblo's Ryan Jensen.
When John Riston took the reins of the newly reinstated football program at CSU Pueblo, he knew he needed tough guys, and he knew the Jensen family was the place to start.
Ryan had an older brother, Seth. Seth went on to graduate from here, and I knew I wanted to recruit both Seth and Ryan. At that time, when it started, I didn't know how good Ryan was going to be, to tell you the truth. And I went and watched Ryan play, and he was athletic, and he was tough.
Before Ryan was allowed to commit to the Thunderwolves, there was one stipulation for his father.
His dad always had a flag. He always would tie a flag up on the back of the stadium, and he would hold it and represent Fort Morgan and enemy territory. Fast forward a little bit during the recruiting visit, you know, I said, hey, make sure you bring that flag, but you got to change the flag. And he sure enough did.
On the field, Ryan Jensen made an immediate impact as a 4-year starter for the Pack. He earned all-conference honors 3 times, All-American honors twice, and was a finalist for the Gene Upshaw Award in 2012, which is given to the top lineman, offense or defense, in Division II.
What he improved is in the mentality of trying to be great. Ryan was always going to be a barroom brawl, but he had to work on his technique to be able to get things done, and he got away with it for his tenacity and toughness. And he knew he had to get bigger and stronger, and so he worked at it and still have his athletic ability.
His toughness helped lead CSU Pueblo to the team's first conference championship in more than 30 years.
We wanted to be one of the most physical teams around. Well, you see Ryan Jensen, he led the country in personal fouls. No, he didn't do that, but he is a physical son of a gun, and it was that mentality that you carried over to be considered being physical. You know, you're right on the brink of, you snap the ball and you play to the echo of the whistle. That's what Ryan Jensen did and demonstrated.
That mentality is what led the Baltimore Ravens to select Jensen in the 6th round of the 2013 NFL Draft, making him the first RMAC football player drafted since 1989.
I knew Juan, the offensive line coach that was coaching at Baltimore at the time, and he called and said, hey, what do you think? I said, this guy's your perfect type of guy for you.
The achievements didn't stop there, as Jensen would play 8 seasons in the NFL, earning All-Pro honors in 2019, a Pro Bowl bid in 2021, and he was the starting center for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when they won Super Bowl 54.
It was like a proud papa watching your kid, you know, do all this thing. But I thought it was one of the biggest things was at the end of the game, I saw him with the confetti, playing with his son in the middle of the confetti right there. So that's Ryan Jensen. But seeing him play and protect Tom Brady and being able to do different things, and it was just a joy.
Jensen retired from the NFL after the 2023 season, having started 90 regular season games.
Ryan's a guy that you're glad you have on your team on Saturdays to be able to do that. Sometimes in practice, it was a little bit different. But I'm just glad I had a chance to coach Ryan Jensen. I'm glad to be a part of his life, part of his family's life. I want to thank him for all he's done to help CSU Pueblo after the fact. I appreciate every little thing, and I'm really proud of you being a self-made guy that has made the most of your opportunity. Where to go for it, that's what we try to preach. You've done a great job. Love you, man. Go Pack.
Congratulations to CSU Pueblo football player Ryan Jensen, a member of the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference Hall of Fame class of 2025.
And please welcome to the stage CSU Pueblo's Ryan Jensen. Take a picture real quick.
accomplishment. This is amazing. Very similar to BJ. I did not prepare anything because I like just going off the top of my head. So that or I'm just lazy, one of the two. But no, again, what an honor this is to be up here on the stage with so many great athletes, and especially the 2014 national championship team getting inducted the same night is awesome after 4 years of building a program that started in 2008, and less than 6 years later we're winning a national championship. So again, it's just amazing to be here. I appreciate everybody that came out here, and appreciate all the other nominees that are here. Risto, I know I made your life hell for 4 years. I'm not sorry. The amount of times me and Risto would get in a screaming match was probably once or twice a week, probably every day during camp. But that's just the mentality I played with, and it was just a nasty, borderline dirty. I called it overly physical, but it made me who I was as a player, and I have a ton of people to thank for that. Obviously, I'm going to start with my parents. Every time, it's my second one, and every time I start crying, but I just want to thank my parents for everything they did for me and my brother growing up. As was touched on, the travel for the RMAC is it's not pleasant. It kind of sucks. And my parents made it to every game of my college career, from Western New Mexico to wherever. So I just want to thank them for that. All the sacrifices they made growing up led it to here. So love you guys. But yeah, enough of this happy stuff, right? Speaking of Western New Mexico, I can't go without telling this story. So my junior season, the game before we played Western New Mexico, we were playing Nebraska Kearney, who we beat that year for the first time as a program, and I got a letter in the mail from the commissioner talking about my play and that I need to settle it now. Well, I didn't, and ended up getting ejected out of the Western New Mexico game, and it was funny because I had no idea. As I'm walking off the field, Risto is standing 5 feet behind me, screaming his head off, because all I could hear was my mom from the stands as I'm walking on the track at Western New Mexico, absolutely going ballistic on me. So, obviously I get suspended for the next game. And what I learned from that whole experience was, one, don't get ejected from a game. Two, Risto made it miserable for me because he made me sit next to my mother at the next game. And I learned a lot from that, and that's not to sit next to my mom at a sporting event because she gets a little crazy, a little wild, but I love her for it. She was a college athlete as well, so she understands it. But some other people I really want to thank, from my college days is Coach Simo. He's not here today, but if there's anybody to blame for the way I play the game, it's definitely him. For everybody that knows him, he's a character, and I love him to death. He was one of the first guys to believe in me, and really pushed and was able to get the best me as an athlete out of me, and I'm forever grateful for what he did for me. The school in general, it just was amazing. When I committed to Pueblo, my brother had already committed and was down here. He was a big recruit at a high school, ended up going to Nebraska and transferred out, and was going to come down to Pueblo, but unfortunately he had a bunch of injuries and wasn't able to play anymore. So After that, Risto honored his commitment to me with my scholarship, and led to this great opportunity for me. And that's my biggest thing. I always tell young guys is when an opportunity presents itself, you have to be ready for it. And that was my thing as a true freshman. I came in at 215 pounds and just played with that tenacity and that fire, and ended up starting at left tackle at 225 pounds as a freshman. So throughout my college career, I ended up gaining over 90 pounds. When I graduated, I was 315 pounds. And for me, it was the opportunity that was presented in front of me when going into my senior year as junior spring. I probably should have been in class, but I wasn't. And I was at the Pack House, which is our field house, and NFL Scout was actually there recruiting Ross Dawson, who was our quarterback at the time. And he was having trouble with the computer, and I went in there to help him out with it. And he looked at me and he goes, "Are you 66?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Shut the door." And I'm like, "All right." So he put me through all these weird flexibility tests and this and that, and I was like, "This is the weirdest thing I've ever experienced." And at this time, I didn't know if I had a future after college in football. And he sat down and he was like, "Hey, listen, if you keep playing the way you are, you play, get a little bit bigger, you're going to have an opportunity at least for a tryout at the next level." So, I took that criticism and that belief from somebody I'd never met before, and took that into a position where, you know what, this opportunity has presented itself. I'm gonna do everything that I can to make that opportunity, take the best and do as much as I can with that opportunity. And it led to getting drafted in 2013 to the Baltimore Ravens, and then ultimately signing in Tampa and winning a Super Bowl. So. That's a little bit of my story. Again, there's so many people I want to thank. I want to thank my wife, my kids for, again, being my backbone throughout an NFL life. And the NFL life is a crazy, stressful thing. And especially my first 4 years in the league, I was a consistent bubble guy where I didn't know if I was going to become a starter. That's a hard place to be in a professional career. And my wife and my kids definitely helped me get through those hard days, the good days and the ugly days. So again, I want to thank everybody. I want to thank the RMAC for this incredible honor, and congratulations to all the other inductees tonight. Thank you.